Uh, Good morning, everybody. So normally we're live currently. So just good morning, everybody. My name is Thibault Lemierre, and I work at Europass. So we'll be presenting here with participation of ETC with Anna Belmas and ETOA with Tom Jenkins, the new campaign Europe Behind the Scenes. And so I will be coordinating the overall conference. So just to crack on and step forward, I will just to give you an overview of the agenda. First, ETC with Anna will present the origin of the project and what it aims at. And further to this part, we'll have Tom Jenkins that will explain a bit how ETOA is working, the new projects, and the link with the current campaign that we have. And we'll get into the details as Europass of this specific campaign in the second part of it. So if that's okay with you, Anna, you can go. You can start.
Okay. Well, I'd like to welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today in this presentation. I'm Anna Belmas. I work in the executive unit here at the European Travel Commission in Brussels. I know some of you already joined our previous campaign, Wanderlust, Wander Europe, which we also did in collaboration with Europass and ETOA. So some of you are already familiar with the kind of work we do here at ETC. Basically, our mission is to promote Europe as a sustainable travel destination in long-haul markets. And we work in collaboration with our members, our national tourism organizations, and also DMOs to promote Destination Europe. And basically, the campaign we are presenting today is co-funded by the European Union. And the idea is to promote Europe in China using the short video formats with the campaign called Europe Behind the Scenes, and to showcase all of our destinations and leverage ETC's, the brand Europe, to further expand our impact on the market. And the campaign works similar to the previous Wanderlust Wander Europe campaign, where it works as a co-op package. So each destination that is selected by us to take part in this campaign will benefit from ETC matching them at 50%, matching their investment, as well as the overall campaign impact that this will have in China. I will not go into a lot of details because I know Thibault and Nicolas will explain the campaign in more detail. But I would like to thank my colleagues, and I would like to thank you for joining us today. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the chat box or contact any of us by email after this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna, for the presentation. That's clear. We'll go into the details of the different stages of the campaign in the end. And please, Tom, feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Oh, thank you, Thibault. My name is Tom Jenkins. I work at ETOA, the European Tourism Organization, and we specialize in representing intermediaries who sell Europe throughout the world. And obviously, in recent years, this includes China. I think the Chinese market is one which, at the moment, we have to admit, is not very active. We're looking forward to it becoming active later on this year, at the beginning of next year. We do know from all our members that there is enormous demand in China for Europe. We're having reports from everybody who has offices in China that there is no shortage of inquiries coming in about the possibility of coming to Europe. The actual ability of people to do so is, for the time being, repressed, and I don't see it coming back for at least another 3 to 6 months. In the meantime, it's so important to be planning for the return of demand. This is why we're really happy to give this project our full support. I mean, ETOA not only represents tour operators and other intermediaries, we also arrange for networking events to take place where these people can meet the buyers who buy the product that's sold in origin markets like China. So if you're interested, you could look at things like our Chinese European marketplace, which takes place in May, and we also have a city fair for cities wishing to sell themselves to to origin markets like China, and that takes place in June. But in the meantime, this is just a wonderful exercise in promotion of Europe, particularly those things in Europe which are underappreciated and are there to be enjoyed by markets such as China. And I think this is great. So I'm going to hand you over to Thibault again, just to say this is a genuinely innovative new process, and we salute it.
Thank you very much, Tom, for your words, and we're trying our best with yourself and ETC to make this project a success, and we're confident in the fact that the recovery is pending, and will the next few months be in a different situation. So I will go into the details now of the campaign itself, which is called Europe Behind the Scenes. And if you have any questions, like it was mentioned by Anna previously, just don't hesitate to send it out through the chat, or even afterwards by email to Anna, Nicolas, myself, or ETOA also, and we will be happy to answer to you. I don't know if perhaps we can display. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, so just to start, to come to the initial part of the project and its origins, as Anna was saying, because of the current situation and the exceptional issues we're collectively living, ETC has decided to trigger a project dedicated to recover the Chinese market that is following up on the previous one, which was called Wanderlust Wander Europe, that has gathered 35 destinations. So we're happy, and among them we have 7 that were NTOs, so numerous countries are just took part to it. It's ended up, just a few words on this, it ended up on the 31st of March, and it's currently being monitored, so all the 35 destinations received the final reports. And as it was also mentioned, during the summertime, a KOL trip will be organized in the different destination that was selected. So this is the last step is upcoming on this. And to another word, because it won't interest us in the presentation of this new campaign, but the results of the first campaign were very impressive, because we went largely over the objectives and the targets. So it means that we had clearly a very great attention from our Chinese friends that were eager to learn more about Europe, that wanted really to come back. And at the ETC last barometer, touristic barometer, saying these are the first market that are the most willing to come back to Europe. So that's a criteria to keep in mind, because they're really looking closely at what's going on in Europe, and they're really eager to come back as soon as they can. So this means that this new campaign is coming after the previous one. And if you can please go to the next slide, I will get into detail. Okay, so today is presentation of the webinar, so we'll go in the details. And what's important to know is the application must be completed on the link that is on the presentation I'm showing to you, but this presentation will be available. It's purely an application form, Google form, so very easy to complete, that just go in some details of the destination that is willing to apply, and this can be completed in 5 minutes time, so that's fine. But it has to be done before May 7th at 12 a.m. For calendar purpose only, because afterwards we'll have to implement quickly the different destination storyboards. The announcement will be done on the Wednesday that is following the 7th or the 12th. and we'll start implementing the strategy for each selected destination right after. So again, if you're interested after this presentation, just go, I mean, this presentation will be made available, and please just go on the link that is written and complete the form. You can go to the next slide, please. Yes, so a quick overview of the situation in China currently and the traveling perspectives. The first thing to know is the Chinese population, I mean, the FITs, which are targeting here only the FITs, are very willing to come back because, I mean, several studies have been run and all of them are showing that they really wish to travel back as soon as it is safe to do so. So you will be able with this presentation to have the barometer of ETC that has been released in the first trimester, quarter 2021. Second thing to know is the fact that the OGs, winter OGs, will take place next winter in China. That's important to know it because this is clearly one of a great touristic opportunity for them to have worldwide tourists coming to China. So they are initiating discussions with the EU and also in the different countries to have a mutual recognition of their vaccination, so that, I mean, we can set up the basis of a protocol, traveling protocol within the different countries. So it's not yet achieved, obviously, but this is pending discussions, and the target is clearly, as soon as it is safe to do so and possible, to let the travel and the traffic go back to normal, not to normal, but to initiate a first step for them to come back to Europe, or for, I mean, us to come back to China too. So this is also in the perspective of traveling back, a good way to for China to rush. I mean, because they have this date in mind. I mean, the date of the next OGs, winter OGs. So we're confident that they will also participate to accelerate the discussions and just to find a solution in it. So just also to give you an overview of, I mean, the power of the Chinese tourism is in 2019, prior to the COVID crisis. I mean, the US, which is a major market, represented in terms of touristic expenses $122 billion spent. So American people can travel throughout the world because they are mature, and I mean, the rise of the potential of increase can be imagined, but it's not huge compared to China, where in the same period, so 2019, $261 billion was spent by Chinese, and they represent only 10% of travelers. So compared to a mature market, this is more than twice. So the potential of increase and the prediction of travel after COVID, I mean, before COVID, it was estimated that in 2030, they will reach 400 million travelers, which is huge. So this is a market which is clearly presenting a great potential, and that's why we're initiating all this, also with ETC, all these plans, because we need to get a close contact with them, also to adapt to their technologies, to be able to offer them the best service and also the best way to book the different services we have available. And keeping in mind that the more we'll focus on their technologies, the better we'll manage to convert them into operational bookings. I mean, so operational travelers that are booking the different touristic segments. Can you go to next, please? Okay, it's just to give you an overview, because the presentation will be given to you. This campaign, Europe Behind the Scene, will start in May, ends up end of September, and will be monitored for 6 months afterwards. But it's ending in September. It's only addressing Chinese FITs, so it's not targeting the groups at all. We observed closely during the confinement period in China that the trends, the consumption trends, were very linked or evolving quickly towards video support. So it could be the main platforms such as DOUYIN, such as which are channels, which are mini program channels. Weibo Live could be also the live streamings, so which are very powerful to capture the audience, and we'll go through it. So the idea of this campaign is really to use the last consumption trends in China to have a better impact, and just also just capture the flow at the maximum, but also use it to expose the touristic offer and eventually also convert it. Sorry, can you go to the next slide? Here, so just to give you, I mean, a view of who is able to apply, that it's only focusing on the DMOs, but it's not a question of size. We won't take a look, we won't discriminate, so on either on the size of the DMO or on the previous actions led by the DMO. If you have a consistent plan to develop the Chinese market, and even though it's the first time you would like to do it, your application will be considered as seriously. So that's important to know. And always through the project, Europass team and ETOA teams will be clearly assisting all the DMOs selected in this process to set up the strategy. And so, I mean, when I say set up the strategy, is clearly to divide the different steps, the different actions, and help them to identify the best attractions, or the best way to promote the different types of attraction through the different media. Also, something which is important to know that is Europass will here during the implementation take in charge, I mean, the completion of the different actions. We won't need a lot of investment from the destination, except if the destination itself want to get involved in the process a lot, but will be very autonomous in the way to deliver, because we're producing the different inputs, with the shooting of the videos and the promotion of the videos, and I mean the broadcasting of the videos. This will be produced during the campaign by us. So can you move to next, please? Yes. So key point: selection of European destinations. So we don't have yet the full number. We're just there will be a criteria grid which will be used to that is, I mean, will take into account, I mean, the answer to, I mean, the application process. So the different questions which are asked through this application process will be just appraised on our sides with ETC to determine, I mean, the final selection. The campaign is divided into phases. First one is the promotional video campaign, which will be linked to the production of a mini series, so episodes of a mini series on the European scale. So on the overall Europe behind the scene campaign will be done. So we'll be on site shooting on the different destination, and after that we will have the edition of the video, the broadcasting, the promotion. This is the first step. The live streamings will also be a part of the first promotional phase from June to August. After August, on September, we'll orientate the campaign to something which is called the user-generated content phase. So it will be a DOUYIN challenge. So DOUYIN challenge is, I will go into the details, but the idea is just to engage the audience, Chinese audience, into the process of creation, so that they can create themselves the videos promoting the different destinations that are gathered through the campaign. And then having a big output is the fact that if we have thousands of videos produced directly by the Chinese, the emotional part of I mean the attraction, the appeal of Europe or the different destination for this Chinese audience will be revealed, and they will produce themselves a lot of content that can be reused and that will remain on the platform, which will be also very viral, but I will explain it further. The campaign is a branding campaign, obviously, but also Europass has created, has developed now for a while technologies that are allowing us to convert, though within the Chinese digital ecosystem, and those tools will be clearly made available during the campaign for the destinations that are willing to go to this stage. And just to finalize on this slide, obviously the application have to be made before May the 7th, and this is important because after this date we won't have the possibility to include more DMOs. So we have 2 weeks to go. Can you go to the next slide? Thank you. So here, why the why has been explained a bit by Anna before, but why a plan of such a size? Because I mean, collectively, we've never been in a situation where the market is just stopping brutally at once and just it's touching everybody at the same time. So the investment of the TC into a campaign dedicated to Chinese recovery is linked to this specific time. It's very interesting throughout this mutualization process because the means invested and the actions and operations that are targeted are related to this mutualization. The more we are together, the better value and the better partnerships we can have with the best companies and more viral or influence companies in China, such as Weibo Travel that we had during the first campaign. There could be also Tencent, DOUYIN. This kind of partners are really important in the massification of the effect we want to achieve. So collectively, we have more power, and also the production and the support and the video technologies used are linked also to this collective effort. And the fact that ETC is also just co-funding with EU funds the project is helping clearly each of the destinations to reach this kind of services, which is very high. So it's a very good value for money thanks to the participation of ETC and the mutual effect. We can go to next. Okay, so now the overall strategy is based on a few key points. We will use for the video part, ETC social networks. So with the DOUYIN platform will be used, and this is a very viral one that was used for the first campaign, Wanderlust Wander Europe. So this is giving to the campaign good credibility, specifically on the Chinese market where it is important. But also at the same time, this campaign will be very focused on the local on the local accounts of the destination. So we'll produce contents that all of them are very related to the attractions or specificities of the destination, and it will be published also on the social networks of the destination themselves. Some of the destinations that would not have any, for example, Weibo or WeChat account, Europass will be able to deliver a service of opening the social networks, because this will allow you during the campaign to grow your community thanks to the very viral and powerful action that will be led. So that's not a problem if you don't have yet those social networks. For the private partners, as in the first campaign, we will gather with ETC naturally some private partners that are very important, touristically speaking. Could be, for example, of the first campaign, Rail Europe. It could be Eurostar. It could be Global Blue. It could be different actors that will, with their notoriety and their participation, benefit to the power of the campaign, because they will promote also on their channels the campaign itself. The first stage will be video-based campaign. We will use lucky draws as incentives that are very powerful when you release content on the social media and you just offer to the audience the possibility to have lucky draws or to win something. You stress a point where you're offering a travel or a trip back to Europe when it will be available. Then those lucky draws will help us to increase the audience and keep them up to speed or just really attracted and all along the 4 months of the campaign. Phase 1, as I mentioned, will be linked to the shooting of mini-series episodes per destination, but also the run of live streamings. All of this production will let us have a very important number of contents that we will be able to divide to just first to display as episodes, full episodes, but also give us some material to also feed your different social networks, and we will use that to also benefit for you during the campaign, but it will be also useful after the campaign, because this content will be remaining for you usable in the future. Second part, the user-generated content challenge, so DOUYIN challenge, is really for you to have an idea, the idea of an ice bucket challenge that was very famous in the Occident. But the idea is just to use, I mean, as I was saying, the audience itself to produce lots of content. So we'll identify scenes or actions that can be replicated by the public related to the different destinations, and these scenes, these actions will have to be adapted by the different by the audience, the Chinese audience, so that they can produce, and we will have naturally lucky draws, and the best videos naturally that will be selected will win a trip, or traveling, let's say traveling presents or packages, so that this is motivating the audience all the way through. Something important to say is, I mean, DOUYIN challenge, so this full month production UGC challenge will happen only if we reach a minimum of 20 destinations, but I will come back to that. If this was not the case, because I mean, this is there's a critical size to reach before to be able to implement it, we will naturally use, I mean, if normally we're confident we can reach that. If we cannot, for some reasons, we will convert the DOUYIN challenge into more video or more episodes, more live streamings. We will adapt the packages that are will be displayed in the next few slides for each destination that qualified within the project. Can we go to the next slide, please? Here, slides quickly a way for you to understand why a mini series is interesting for touching Chinese audience, and what is the impact. The impact is simple. For example, in Colmar, there wasn't Colmar in France. Colmar was not a city which was very, very famous in China at this period, and a series has been shot there, which was called Chinese Restaurants. And Chinese Restaurant is famous in China. So the team, the crew, cast crew came on site and shot full season there. What happened is before 2017, so before the series was shot, there was just only a little less than 5,000 Chinese nights spent in Colmar. Afterwards, we reached the level of 11,000 Chinese hotel nights. So the jump is huge, and the impact of the shooting, of the immersion proposed through the video shooting, is really, really important, and that clearly shows an impact on the wish of the Chinese audience to come and visit a city or destination that they liked through the media. So that was just an overview of that. Can we go to the next slide? Yes, thanks. So the series, based on this principle, mini-series, Euro behind the scene, so what will happen is we will inspire ourselves from examples of miniseries shot in Europe, like Scam. This is the example, and the idea is to say that we want, during this campaign, to highlight all the destinations that are, all the attractions from European destinations that are a little less famous, but that are the G-words of the beaten path. So the idea is to say, okay, you obviously know the best sellers of the destination. So if you take a close look, all the destinations are very amazing highlights that we can discover. And the notion of behind the scenes just triggers in the idea of an exclusive journey through the destinations. And if you just have this immersive, amazing journey, and you manage to show it through a mini series where you are behind the scenes, then all the 2 episode shots per destination will reveal experiences that are not really famous, but are worth to discover. And that's really the emotional part of the campaign. The video is helping us to touch the emotion of the public. And when you reach the emotion of the public, you manage to really have them converted into at least programming the destination, programming the idea to come to those destinations because they were just amazed by what they discovered. And this is the overall process. Linked to it, we'll have all the different tools I mentioned, linked to the possibility to book attractions, hotels, linked also to the retail parts that are just I mean the touristic offer of all the destinations selected. But we will attract the Chinese customers or tourists thanks to this immersive journey. So that's what I wanted to let you know about this slide. Can we go to next, please? We're remaining in the first phase of the project. Second type of actions that will be run is the live streams. A live stream is can be based on different technology. Could be a DOUYIN, could be done on also WeChat channels, could be also run on a mini program, WeChat mini program, on the video channel of that. What's interesting in the live is that the audience you capture at the moment of the live is, I mean, even more focused on the message delivered and is remaining a longer time on the live stream. So compared to an article that is reaching its public and which is really useful, the retention of the public on the live is performing better. So in 1 hour and a half live streaming, I mean, on average, you can have 20 minutes spent by each viewer on the live streaming. And in the live streaming, you also have the ability to, as you can see on the slide, but it's perhaps too little, but you will be able to see it when you receive the presentation. You can push, thanks to WeChat mini programs, the touristic offer. So it's easy to say we have a public which is very interesting in live, and we can push also if this is a project, if this is wished by the destination, also items. So this is very easy to have a full booking process linked to the live. Doesn't mean that it's an obligation, it's a possibility. Only that you will see it can be done for monuments, for full destinations, could be done for an activity, for shopping, so retail. So depending on the different destinations, we'll be able to adapt the full storytelling. We'll write it down, we'll define, I mean, the different items, hotspots to shoot with the destination, and we will go on site and shoot. We take in charge the full process of shooting the live, the different material which will be required, and the promotion of the live. So we won't request from the destination too much time or investment into it, because this is taken in charge by Europass through the campaign. It's important to mention it. Naturally, I mean, this will be even more detailed when we'll kick off the project with its selected destinations. Okay, so can we go to the next slide, please? So now we completed, I've described the first stage, which is from June to August. We move to September. In September, we implement the DOUYIN challenge. So UGC does a part which was dedicated to the user-generated content part. Why DOUYIN is interesting? Because DOUYIN is called very famous as TikTok in Europe, is just gathering more than 300 million users per month and 150 million daily. So it's huge. The target of this application, which is perhaps the most notorious video platform in China, is between 18 and this is a millennials, 18 and 25 up to 35, but they are very concentrated. So this is targeting the autonomous, independent Chinese tourists that have high purchasing power and that are very sensitive to the European consumption trends. So we managed to reach them through this video process. This is very immersive, very inspirational, and the idea is to create a buzz effect. But this buzz effect is created because the audience itself is involving itself into the process of creation. And this is good because all the destinations will receive also lots of visibility thanks to this production of different mini scenes or replication with the games. And there will be a game also where lucky draws will be released all over this part, I mean the DOUYIN challenge. Just for you to understand also, a video on DOUYIN is costs a lot of money. Depending on the complexity, it's between $2,000 or $10,000. So when you get inside the campaign with the materialization process, you get the possibility to have content linked to DOUYIN, so video that are shared, that are available for you to republish on your social networks at a price which is also very competitive. given this overall materialization. Can we move to the next slide, please? Currently we're if we manage to reach the threshold of 20 destinations and the implementation of the DOUYIN challenge is maintained, what we will do is define all the scenes, all the protocol, all the the overall scenes or actions that will have to be replicated for the different destinations, incorporated in the DOUYIN challenge, that will be promoted hugely by DOUYIN. DOUYIN has huge promotional means and will place as a hot topic this campaign. So it will be one of the best feature of DOUYIN for 1 month, and that will benefit to all the destination because lots of videos will be pushed by the different viewers all over this month, and we will be able to recover them naturally and just to have feedback and a report for each destinations involved in the project at the end of September. DOUYIN is also recruiting, when it's launching a DOUYIN challenge, KOLs to promote the action and promote this big operation. So there will be a lot of power, promotional power put on the top of it, and will naturally define the reports in the end and just adjust it for each different destination so that we can give you an accurate feedback on what it generated for each of them. Can we go to the next one, please? So here I will let you see it, but to give you an overview of the planning, we're currently on April up to 7th of May managing the hiring process of the destination, the DMOs, and we'll end up so the 7th of May. After that, we will, on the 12th of May, we will release with ETC the selected destinations. And starting right after, we will have the different strategies on a per destination basis. So the storyboard of the different mini-series, the live streaming organization, the posts, the social media posts that will be done, the conversion tools to set up will be also set. So all of that will get into the details with each specific destinations and will be handled by Europass on May. Starting in June, from June to August, we're shooting and releasing the different videos, so the different episodes of the miniseries, the different live streamings, the different WeChat Weibo posts also, and we'll also so that's for this first phase. And last phase on September, the DOUYIN challenge is launched properly. After September, we have 6 months of monitoring because all the tools that have been set will be still running. So we will keep monitoring and provide on a regular basis inputs and information to the destination that were involved into the process. So that's it. I think we can go to the next one. In terms of package delivery, so each destination selected will have what you can see here. So on the destination level specific, 2 episodes for the mini-series. So the shooting, the preparation, the shooting, the push on the different social media, and the promotion of it, the shooting and design of the live streamings, the setup of the different conversion tools I was mentioning, and on the top of it you will have 2 WeChat posts specifically dedicated to the destination, and 10 Weibo posts also dedicated to the destination. So we're remaining very, very focused on this part on the destination level, and we will manage to increase. We'll do our best to increase, thanks to this promotion and publication on the social media of the destinations, their community. Perhaps to give you an insight also, the mini-series, the shooting of episode is requesting a lot of time. This is very complex and on our side. So the edition will take also lots of energy, but we'll try during the shooting to also run interviews of the cast, of the crew, on the experiences, and we'll have also making off cuts that will also trigger animation and have the public keep being interested and just animated all the way through. We'll have pictures of the realizations, the shooting will also be showcased, and those inputs will be delivered to the destination. We'll promote it, but this will remain. We will be able. This is something you can capitalize on. For the contents displayed on the global level of the campaign, there will be a general clip featuring all the destinations, global final live streaming related to the overall number of destinations, and promotional Weibo posts on ETC social media. So that's a great way to reach the public, because it's a very viral social media, and the DOUYIN challenge itself, which will be launched on September, with the constraint I mentioned of reaching 20. So we can move to the next one. Here is the targets in terms of KPI that will be reached for each of the destinations that will be selected. 20 million page views and a lot of interactions, 160,000 interactions. The video channels is always the best way to generate interactions. This is a format that is always just generating the wish for the different for the audience to interact. So we're using those tools because the call to actions linked to this interactions help us to reach also potential conversions. So for the videos, so the two videos, so 2 episodes per destination, we want to reach 400,000 page views and 2,000 interactions. Live streams will be 30 per destination. Each live streams will generate at least 30,000 page viewers, people attending to the live stream. And as you can see, interactions level is high on this specific format, 10,000 interactions. For the 2 articles we chat, so it will be 2,000 page views and 100 interactions, Weibo 40,000, and for the 10 posts and 100 interactions. And you can see also the rest for the global actions led on the ETC scale will be achieving the numbers. I won't go into the details of all of them because you can see it, but the DOUYIN challenge is really is proved in the past for all the iteration realized to generate a huge number of interactions, because you are at the center of the involvement of the public and the audience. So that's it, and we can finalize. Next slide, please. Well, here the business model of the campaign linked to ETC is the following one. Each destinations will invest 10,000 euros for the 4 months of the campaign and the 6 months of the monitoring, including all the services I've just mentioned above. The EU co-funding managed by ETC will be added on the top of the initial investment of each destination. So 10,000 invested plus 10,000 added by ETC per destinations, which led to a cost of 20,000 euros per destinations. Not the cost, but a package of 20,000 euros. And because of the mutualization process of the number of 20 destinations gathered, we can use and gather partners that will have a critical impact in terms of reach, that will lead to a service which is valued for 40,000 euros, because we use the tools that are the most powerful, because the cost of implementing all these actions is very high, and we can achieve it in such a project because of the power of the collective action, and also the support naturally of ETC. Just to let you know, because of the limited number of places, this is strongly advised to apply as soon as you can on the link that I've mentioned at the top of the presentation, that will resend to you right after. And I think that's good. This is what I wanted to tell you on this slide. Perhaps we can go, yeah. And the project's management team here is the same as the previous campaign, which showed to be quite efficient. So we won't change it, because we have the experience now of this campaign, so we know exactly how to optimize it. Nicolas obviously will be directing the project on Europa's side, Yamin, as ETOA representative, will be assisting all the DMOs that are willing to through the organization of their strategy. Anna will be the manager of the project. She was already doing it for the first campaign and interacting with the different DMOs, so she knows it very well. And also after that, our team, Xiao as a digital solution manager, Chen as a marketing manager, and Cynthia helping Anna very well on the implementation of the strategy and the actions for all the DMOs, and myself for the commercial related parts. So we can move to the next slide. And that's the end. So wanted to say thanks for your attention on that, and I hope I've not been too long, even though I know I might have been. So if the goal now is if you have any questions related to this campaign, all the items which were showcased, that's the right moment to address them. We will be all able to answer to you.
I think that there is already 2 questions, Thibaut.
Okay.
Do you have them?
No.
How should user-generated content be produced if borders are not open by September? This is the first one. Do you want to reply, or do you want me to reply?
I can happily reply, but if you feel free to step forward.
Okay. Just to the user-generated content is about DOUYIN challenge, as you understood. And for this kind of challenge, which are perfectly known by the Chinese audience, they produce video with the means at hand. For example, some very professional videos are created by some studios, can be created by some studios, so they will use reuse some content of the destination, or create some content by themselves, but the massive part of the video that will be produced will be by individuals, which will try with the mean at hand to reproduce something, a monument or a landscape relative to the destination. Okay, so it's not we are not expecting them to create a promotional video for the destination. We are expecting from them to create innovative, different, interesting videos relative to the destination. Okay, and we will see with ETC how we will select the winners for the challenge, but for sure we will take into account the creativity of the video and also the virality of the video. I don't know if I was understood or not. Do not hesitate to ask for more details if you want it. Second question, Thibaut, application deadline, just to clarify. So we have to apply by Thursday, the 6th of May evening.
No, sorry, it was 7th of May at 12 a.m. CEST, so up to noon.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. So another question, if I understand your plan correctly, in terms of time, when the last QL local report and the new campaign will be overlapping, will you have the capacity to properly execute both projects in parallel, and won't they be competing with each other? Okay. Thibaut?
Right. Okay, so first you're right. Wanderlust, Wander Europe, and this stage, I mean the KOL challenge, have only been postponed not because we wanted to postpone it. It was because it was better. I mean the conditions to have the KOLs coming were not gathered, so that's why it's been postponed. But at the same time, this is a great period to have the KOL coming in the summertime. So this will overlap. But at the same time, what's interesting is the shooting and the push of the new episodes and videos will be able also to be supported on the social media by the KOL being in Europe at this specific time. So the connection will be a great asset to promote also the action, the episodes and live streamings, because they will be covering up the destination at this specific time. It was not foreseen, but now it is here. This is more an help rather than a problem. And obviously, we're staffed to be able to deploy it as the two of them at the same time. So we're organized like that. Yeah, there's not an issue on this part.
Okay, Yamin, do you have any additional questions on the chat?
Yes. Just one moment, please. So I have a question, two questions actually from Isabel Thomas. Or Thomas, sorry.
Bonjour, Isabel.
Thibaut, I have two questions. So first question, is the success of that kind of campaign is usually linked to partnerships with KOL, media? Could you give more details about the promotion process?
Okay. That's okay. That's Nicolas, do you want to answer or do you want me to answer?
Is there a partnership with a Chinese TV such as ETOA, if I pronounce it well?
Okay.
I'll let you go for that, Nicolas.
Okay. So as we did for the first campaign, indeed, we do need to cooperate with KOLs and the Chinese media, because it's for sure important and massive way to collect qualified audience. For the Wanderlust Wander Europe campaign, for example, we did cooperate with Weibo Travel, which is the tourism part of Weibo platform. We did cooperate with two new famous Chinese travel agencies. So indeed, we need to work with them, and to be honest, they are very open-minded and want to keep cooperating with European destinations. They are, and you all probably perfectly know that, expecting to organize again travel and trips to Europe as soon as it will be possible. So they are very involved to any cooperation. Just to add, Isabel, you are talking about KOLs and media. I could add advertisement, because indeed we will have to use this way also in the different platform we will select, the DOUYIN particularly. The second question.
Just perhaps, Nicolas, just for Isabel, if you want to know, on your social networks, each of the videos, each of the posts, each of the WeChat articles will be promoted. So promotion, beside the media, the promotion of the items, of the delivery of the inputs linked to the campaign will obviously be powered with a lot of promotion, so that the reach of the impact on your social media is achieved.
Yeah. The second part of the question.
Yeah, for the second question, can you explain the difference with the video shot for the first campaign, such as the cooking lesson at the French embassy? So what will be the difference in the content for the videos, I guess?
Thibaut?
Sorry, just Yamin. I had
okay.
I didn't hear what you said. I had like a cut. And
I will answer. the huge difference and between the two campaigns to be clear. The first campaign was quite more global, and this new campaign is more local. Okay, if I come back on the Wanderlust Wonder Europe campaign, we published the largest part of the content on the ETC accounts, WeChat, Weibo, etc., etc. Here we will publish the most part of the content on the social media of the destination. Okay, and during the former campaign, a lot of content were also global, so relative to several destinations by cluster for all the campaign, etc., etc. Here we will publish a lot of content dedicated to the destination. Okay, so if I add and then to go back on your precise questions, for the last campaign, the content was provided by the destination. Okay, you send us, and Anna Ndiaye, our project manager, was in touch with you and your team several times per month to collect and gather all the content. Here we will produce the content by ourselves. Okay, so it will be normally a nicer content and some video that we will create that you will own, and you will be able to reuse them to assure the promotion of your destination toward the Chinese market during, I hope, several months and years. Something you want to complete, Thibaut?
Yes, just I think this is right. And one of the value of this campaign, besides it, is also this is not the same media support. I mean, the video, we use video because the trends in China of consumption have been evolving very fast, and live streaming also took a large role in the recovery and the launch, and I mean grew during this phase. Second, also, sorry, no, I think you said it. I had another idea that just I don't remember now.
But okay, once again, Isabel, this time we change our approach to do something new, of course, after our discussion with ETC and ETOA also, but also because now we have the feedback of the first campaign. And if we decided to adapt, because it was easier for us just to replicate the same campaign, if we decided to adapt is because and we shared it, we shared the report of the first campaign with you. We identified that video content is most efficient. We had in the comments some requests to have more original content to share. It's the same with the KOL who asked us to share with them more content, and we know how it could be a pain point for destination to provide us more and more content. So we decided for this new campaign to assure this content production by ourselves. It will be easier. This campaign will be easier for destination because we will assure 100% of the production part.
Mm-hmm. Also, this, I mean, the cost of producing videos is important when you're not in such a dispositive, I mean, collective dispositive. So, as Nicola was saying, a great input of this campaign is also that, besides the campaign itself and the release of the videos and the live streaming, you will be able to conserve, I mean, those information, those videos, which are just costful, generally speaking. So it will be useful in the time. It will not stop at after the campaign itself. Could be cut, could be just extracted, could be just broadcasted on all the social networks. It will just feed all the reactions in the future.
Any additional question, Yamin, or?
Yes. So very good question from Simon from Switzerland. If EU is co-funding, do Swiss destination profit of the same financial contribution by ETC? So is the Swiss are the Swiss destination able to be an applicant for this disposal?
Do you want to answer, Anna?
Yes, sorry, I was muted. Yes, they are eligible to participate. Should they be selected? Yes, they will be matched by EU funds. So yeah.
Obviously, like Switzerland is most welcome. We're just very important actors in the first campaign. They will be just in the second too.
Mhm.
Yamin, something else?
So yes, another question from Cédric from North of France. How are the Chinese correspondents selected for this campaign?
Okay,
Again,
as the Chinese correspondents, right? We're, I mean, Europass team is deployed in most of the different destinations, and we have a team that is in touch on the different countries and different regions with lots of local either KOLs, correspondents, medias, or could be just person which are just promoting also because they love the destination. It's inhabitants, but that have a professional link with video that are able to, to shoot with professional skills, and Europass will identify in the different countries destinations. For example, in some destinations you have also guides, so specific guides that are just Chinese guides, but that are very that are knowing a lot of all the destination that could be just doing it because some of them also are professionals in terms of videos, but they have a very good knowledge of the destination. So those correspondents will be identified according to the particularities of the different destination itself. In first, thanks to our network already in the different destinations, but also we'll discuss with the different destinations. And if there's somebody that is clearly appearing as legitimate or having the right skills, we will naturally be happy to discuss with the different destinations.
Yamin?
Okay, thank you. Next question from Mario. If destination join already the Wanderlust project, can they benefit from this new project? Is there an age or is that an impeachment to participate? How does it work?
Anna? We do not hear you, Anna. I think you, yeah.
Okay, no, not at all. Of course, we encourage participants who already took part in the previous campaign to join this one as well. And if we know them and we know that they have the resources, they will probably score high. So we encourage you to participate once more.
Okay, Yamin? That's okay? Now it's you that we do not hear, Yamin.
I cannot hear you, Yamin.
Sorry. Here we go again. So will you also do the production of the live streaming?
Yes.
So, sorry. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, we will.
In terms of questions. So thank you very much for all the questions submitted.
Thank you very much for your time. And if you have any other questions, you can address the different questions by email to any of us, either to ETOA, Europass, or ETC, obviously, and we will answer straightforward. And also, perhaps just to let you know, lots of different destinations have wished to have a conference call with us during the next weeks to come. It's a possibility. And perhaps a question that has not been asked, but which might be important, if within a destination, for example, a region, different actors, different tourism boards, for example, want to join forces to apply as a single partner, it's possible. So it doesn't have to be the name of one city, can be within one banner, several cities gathering to support a region, for example.
Important to precise. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks very much. And have a lovely day.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.